Hi, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about setting healthy boundaries. This is such an important life skill and it should be taught early on, but sadly, it is not. So, we're going to kind of break it down into some simple steps for you because it's really important to know how to advocate for yourself and your needs in a healthy and respectful way in any type of relationship or work setting. And this is something that will also serve you well if you tend to be a people pleaser and struggle with any kind of conflict. So, we're going to talk about the simplest way to set a healthy boundary so that you can practice these skills and increase the quality of your life and better your relationships. So the first thing I want to talk about is, or the first step, for lack of a better term, if we're going to say that this is a formula here, is that you really want to be clear with the person about your account of the situation, whatever that is, and then you can say how it makes you feel, and then ask for what you need moving forward. So that last step is really important to talk about, what you need moving forward in order to give the person a clear idea of what that looks like. So if we're just telling the person what they're doing wrong or what we don't like about them, of course, it's going to make them feel defensive and it's a lot less likely that we're going to get our needs met. So it's really important to say, hey, this is what I really need moving forward, or I think this would work better for both of us if we can do this moving forward, and see how the other person reacts to that, see how the other person responds to that. If it's a closer personal relationship, invite the other person to kind of follow that same pattern back in terms of their communication with you. So letting you know kind of how they're feeling, what their account of the situation is, and what they need moving forward. Sometimes in these sort of more charged topics, it can be really difficult to say all these things verbally without it getting heated or more charged, or it kind of can go off track and not be so productive. So if that is the case, or if the relationship tends to be a bit charged, I recommend sort of following this formula in writing. So send it in an email, a handwritten note. Texting is okay, but sometimes we fire off because texting is so fast. And it's better that you really give some thought into consideration into sort of how you're communicating, not just what you're communicating. So again, if you can kind of let the other person know how you're feeling, what your account of the situation is, and what you need moving forward, and invite the other person to, share with you how they are feeling and what they need moving forward. If you go back and forth, typically resolution can be met, or found rather. So the other piece to pay attention to, and especially since my work deals so much with unhealthy relationships and what to look out for, when you speak up about what you need, so long as you're doing it in a way that preserves the other person's dignity and self-worth, you really need to pay attention to how the person responds. So, it's normal for most of us to get kind of defensive initially if somebody says something that we don't like, or that feels hurtful, or we feel attacked. But you want to look for, does the person take a step back and think about it? Is there self-reflection? And can you come back together and figure out a mutually agreeable solution? That's what healthy relationships are all about. It's about, two people coming together and figuring out how to move forward together in a way that works for both parties. But if a person gets not only defensive, but they really end up going on offense, attacking you, punishing you for some way because you spoke up, that points to a bigger issue, and that's something to certainly evaluate. So you should not be feeling afraid to speak up in any relationship. You should not be afraid of punishment or backlash of some kind. If you are, that's an indication that there's something bigger going on in the relationship that's a concern, that's not healthy. It needs to be addressed. But certainly in a healthy relationship, to be able to speak up about what you need, ask for the other person's perspective, and try to work toward solutions that work for both of you is the best practice. And so even having a discussion about, hey, let's try this and try to work through this issue together in this way, and kind of go back and forth in this manner until we figure out what works for both of us, that can be a really productive way to start the conversation. All right, I hope this helped you. Take care. Bye-bye.